Welcome back. Today we'll be talking about dictionary in C Sharp. Dictionary is actually a key value pair collection that allows us to use a key to actually trace the value in our application. Just like the regular dictionary, if you want to search for a specific word, you have to look through the alphabet and search for the word. So in this scenario in C Sharp, we have a key value pair. First of all, let me try and create an employee class. Okay, and of course the employee would have an ID, and then we also want to have a name. And what else will employee have? Let's say salary. The name will be a string type, and the salary can be like an integer. So let's leave that. So we have an employee class. So in the main class, let's try and instantiate the employee class itself. Let's create 3 employees. So we want to have ID for employee 1, then name. Let's say the name is Khalid, and then Khalid salary. Let's say 12,000. Okay, so that's for employee 1. We created 1 employee. Then I'm going to create 2 more employees. So we'll name that employee 2, and this will be employee 3. Employee 2, we can give that ID as 111. The name can be like Toby, and the salary is probably like 9,000. And then for employee 3, let's give that ID 121, and the name want to be like Mary. Let's give her 18,000. Okay, so now we have successfully created instantiated 3 employee objects, right? These are our 3 employee objects. So now I want to create a dictionary that can allow me in a way that if I search for ID 101, it will give me all the details of employee 1. So I don't need to search through the name and salary. I just need to use the ID to map and retrieve this data. So that's the idea of dictionary, right? Then I will be creating a dictionary key value pair here. If you look at the dictionary, it takes a key and a value pair, right? So the key is going to be an integer data type because I want to be searching through the ID. I want to use the ID to search through, right? So the key will be an integer data type. And then the value I'm trying to get is an employee value, right? So I'll just keep that here. So this is what I want to use to search, and this is what I'm trying to retrieve. Okay, then let's give that employee dictionary. Okay, instantiate that. Okay, so moving forward, I will just add all this employee into my dictionary by using the object dot add. So by adding, I'm doing this. I'm adding the employee 1. Employee 1. So it's expecting me to add the key and the value of all the data I want in my dictionary. That way, in case I want to search it, it will map it. So now adding the details into the dictionary first, so it will be available in the dictionary. So employee 1 dot ID will be the key, and that will be for the object employee 1, right? Then I'm doing the same thing for the other 2 employees that I have there. Employee 2 dot ID for employee 2. So the ID for employee 3 will be mapped to employee3 object. Okay, so now I've already created my dictionary and I've informed my dictionary. I've loaded all this data in my dictionary. Now if I search for the employee1 ID, it will give me the employee1 details. So let's try and see how that works. Let's do something like employee1, or just call this employee dictionary itself. Employee dictionary. Then if I use the key to like search, it's asking me to like input a key, specific key I'm looking for, right? So let me assume that employee1.id, the key for that, or employee3 is 121, right? Key for employee3 is 121, right? So let me assign that into let me just create a variable for that, employee search. Okay, so now if I go ahead and print this out, search, so I want to search for, I need the data of the employee. What are data of the employee? I need the ID, I need the name, I need the salary, right? Now, so these are the things that these are the details I'm looking for, and this is the search I've instantiated here to search through the employee ID 121. So the search variable is what I'll use to call dot ID dot name dot salary. And then I can make that readable. So notice here that I explicitly put 121. So it will search through the dictionary and see if there's any employee for 121. If there's 121, it will give me all the details in there for Mary. So let's run that and see what results we get. Likely, if I just put the object like employee1.id, it will map through it and look for the ID of employee1. So now it shows us that the ID for 121 name is Mary and salary. So if I just put, instead of explicitly putting it, I can also put something like emp1.id. Then it will look for the employee1 ID and give me all the details of employee1 ID. So I'm using the key to search through the details, to search through all the data, right? So I only have to supply the key. But if I want to provide a list of all these employees, let me comment on this. Let me also comment on this. So in dictionary, if I want to like search for all the keys in list of the details in dictionary, right, we're going to use for each. So normally I'm supposed to use a var, right? But in dictionary we use a key value pair. For each key value pair, and of course the type, integer employee. We'll give that employee okay, let me just use emp dictionary. In employee dictionary. Right? So if you want to print it out as a list, like we are trying to get all the list of everything we have in the dictionary, rather than searching each of them by key, we can easily print them by list. So like I said, we use the key value pair. So for example here, I can try to get the key. Let me have something like the key. Search by the key, then that will be dictionary dot key. So automatically this will print out all the keys. Let's try that first, just to make sure we're on the right track. This should give us all the keys in the dictionary. Let's see what we have, what we get. So yes, we have all the key in dictionary. So we have keys 0101, 121, 111, 121. So we can also use these keys to retrieve all the data, right? So let's see how we can get that done. All the values. So here, let me try something like dictionary dot value. I'm trying to get all the value. Then this value, I can just assign it to a specific employee variable. Employee emp values. Okay, so let's keep that at that. So I can just create another print line to display all the values in employee keys, right? Which is ID, name, salary. And that way I can have let me see, emp values dot id, emp values dot name, emp values dot salary. So this should be dot id actually. So if we print this, try to get all the value, let's see what we have. Okay, says we have an error. Index 0 base must be greater than or 0 to. Okay, so this error is because this id here, I mean this string interpolation here is supposed to be sequentially. So I have 0 1 3. There shouldn't be any skip there. So this string is supposed to be 2. That was my error. So let's try and print it out and see what we have. So we are getting the data, but in order to arrange the data very well, let me try and just make sure that there is a line here. Let me just create a line here to ensure the data is presented better. So if I print this out, I should have the key and the value of each data in the dictionary. Let's see what we have. So there we go. So for the key 101, I have ID 101, name is Carlos, salary, same thing. So I'm using the key to actually retrieve the value. So that's because for me printing out the list, right? So like I said earlier on, if I knock out this list printout and I just want to search it by the key, right? All I just need to do is to put the key here, or put the employee ID here as the key, and it will still search it if I run it. You know, this employee ID 1, so it will give me the details of employee ID 1, which is 101. So basically that's how dictionary works. You use a key to actually retrieve values. Yes, you should play more with it. There's a lot you can do with it, but that's the basic understanding of dictionary. You can have different type of data type in here, like string, int, or even an object data type. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and click like.